Okay, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA today with Ethan Thomas ahead of his big fight in Eternal 78 in Sydney. How are you, man?
Yeah, not too bad, eh? Pretty good. How are you?
Good, man. So you're in the thick of training at the moment, getting prepared for the fight, right?
Yeah. I've been doing plenty of sessions, which is good, and heaps of MMA stuff, which is not normal for me. So that's been good.
So tell me about your background in training and that you're obviously heavy grappling oriented, right? Like I see you enter a lot of grappling tournaments, so obviously BJJ is the biggest part of your game, right?
Yeah. BJJ and wrestling. So
Yep.
I started that when I was young, and I pretty much just continued that the whole way through. And I've never really mixed it together until now, really, like the past 4 months maybe. So that's been helping heaps, I think. Like, just having dedicated MMA sessions is huge.
Yeah, man, that's big. So obviously fighting on Eternal 78, Friday 8th of September against Rod Costa, man. It's a big ask. He's quite an experienced guy when you look at purely at the MMA history. He's got double your fights in both wins and losses, so a little bit more experienced in MMA itself. Do you feel like that'll make a difference?
Yeah, no, not really. I think I'm pretty experienced anyway because of all the competitions I've done outside of MMA. Like, it's like a normal thing now. Competing is normal. I don't get too nervous, so that's good. But yeah, Rod's amazing, but I don't think the experience will make a difference. That's for sure.
Out of interest, man, like Rod Costa's experience in BJJ game, have you guys ever had a chance to roll or compete at all?
From memory, I think we have in the gi, but I can't. I think he won a close match. I can't remember details or anything like that. I cannot remember. But
Yeah.
I've spoken to him quite a few times when he's been in Sydney at some competitions and stuff. So he's a lovely
Yeah.
guy.
So there's no heated rivalry between you two guys. Then you're both
Nah,
okay.
definitely not. Nah, definitely not. He's too nice, and I think I'm too nice. I think.
That's good. He's had a few rivalries already, though, so there must be
Has
something there
he?
sometimes. Yeah, a few
Yeah,
guys had a
there
few
must
words.
be.
Yeah, man. You mentioned that you're working and also training at the same time. Give us an insight into like how does your sort of week go leading up to a fight? How do you balance training and working, and what sort of sessions do you do?
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I've been doing a lot of running lately, but I pretty much just work, get all my jobs done that I have to do because I'm a plumber. So
Yeah.
anything that comes in, I just do them, and then I just train in between whenever I get a chance, really. And it's rough sometimes, but other times I'm quiet with work and I can train more, which is great. So, but
So a general
it
day,
kind of
is it
depends
like,
on
sorry, leading up to the fight, a general day, you try and fit in just one session, two sessions? How do you normally structure it?
Oh man, it's literally revolves around work. So whatever,
Yeah.
if I can do 2-3 a day, I'll do 2 or 3 a day. But
Yeah.
if work doesn't allow it, it's one or none sometimes, but not very often. Normally, I'll get
It's,
someone in every day.
That's a pretty rough sort of way to do things. Obviously, you need to make a crust, and MMA in itself in Australia isn't going to do that for you straight up unless you got some
Yeah,
crazy sponsors. How do you ever
yeah,
see a time
definitely.
that you're going to just go purely into professional MMA and drop the plumbing for a while, or you think it'll be ongoing?
No, I think it'll be ongoing. I'd probably still, honestly, even if I made it, I'd probably still do a bit of plumbing. But
Yeah.
I'd probably brush off a lot of jobs though too. But yeah, I just play it by ear and just see how it goes as I do things. But I don't mind working a bit. It's not too bad, and yeah, still get the training in, so that's fine. It just sucks when you're dieting when you're losing weight.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So are you training at Sydney West Martial Arts? Is that right?
Yeah. So I do most of my stuff there. That's all my jiu-jitsu and a bit of MMA there as well. And
Yeah.
then I box elsewhere with another guy, and then I do my MMA sessions in the city with a few of the boys that are also on the card and my brother. So
Yeah,
that's good.
nice. And as your career sort of, as you've come up through the BJJ ranks, have you always trained out there at the same gym or different gyms?
No, I haven't. I've been at a few different gyms, but I found Luke Martin's the best jiu-jitsu coach for sure in the country. And
Yeah,
I think he's getting up there in the world too, to be honest. So
nice.
he's made something really good there. And I think you're quite silly if you're doing jiu-jitsu in Sydney and not training there, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I'm just following along.
How is the scene, man? Like I'm from Sydney, but I've been out of Sydney for more than a decade. How is the scene these days as far as MMA, fighting arts, jiu-jitsu? Is it a big thing?
Really, I think it's it's bigger in Queensland than that, and Melbourne, I think. I think Sydney's like the worst at the moment, to be honest. But hopefully it'll build up a bit. I don't know, but you got to travel a lot to find any good work and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty rough. I definitely think it's better in Melbourne and Queensland for sure. Definitely.
Is that just on a quality perspective, or is it on a like actual participation perspective? Like, is there heaps of people just wanting to get into it because of UFC and all that?
Yeah, I think more participation, to be honest. Like, I think there's just more guys. I think there's a few good guys in Sydney, but there's just more guys in Melbourne and Queensland. Like, I feel like there's heaps of gyms in Queensland that guys train at. Like, there aren't that many MMA gyms in Sydney, I don't think.
Yeah, they're a bit spread out.
Many
too,
good
right?
ones anyway.
Yeah. Man, so fighting in Sydney must be a good thing for you. You don't have to travel anywhere. It's nice and close, not too far from Penrith or wherever you're at.
No, it is far. I live in Ramwick, and I go to Penrith, so it's an hour and a half to 2 hours out there, and it's about an hour back. And it costs a fortune in tolls because they just
and
stitch
petrol
up
too.
Yeah,
now, I was kind of referring to the fighting part, bro. Like fighting in the event that's in Sydney, like rather than having to fly to another state.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Having that home ground advantage is going to be mad. Like, cutting weight at home and that too. And I live around the corner from where that's going to be. So.
Oh, awesome. What sort of following do you have, bro? Do you have a big crew that'll come along and support you?
No, not really. Not really. I've got a few people, but not heaps. I'm not a very popular person. But yeah, I got a few coming though, but not a lot. That's for sure.
Bro, I was looking for interviews and there's not many interviews on you. I was trying to find something.
Yeah, no. I keep to myself a lot. I'm very I'm like a recluse.
One question I had, man, like I was looking at your old fights, your old photos. You're looking a bit more like Dan Hardy-ish or something. Now you look like Clay Guida, bro. Has anyone ever drawn that comparison? Because you kind of almost fight like him too in some ways too.
Yeah, a few people have actually. Yeah, they have. It's just the hair, I guess, but I love it at the moment.
But he's a pretty good a good guy to emulate in a way. Like he comes out all pumped. He was super popular. Maybe that's the sort of style you could follow a little bit. You know, bring out a bit of
for sure. I could follow his nickname too, like Ethan the Plumber Thomas or something. But this is the carpenter. But let's see how it goes. But he's a tough dude. So to be related to him would be pretty good anyway. So.
Man, you're relentless with the shooting on that fight with the Korean guy, the recent one. I watched that one. You were pretty relentless on the takedown. That's why it kind of drew the comparisons to me. You know, he does that too. Like keeps driving and crushes people with intensity, right?
Yeah, for sure. He surprised me though. That Korean guy, his takedown defense was amazing. Because I haven't been having much trouble with other people, so I was quite surprised.
I think it's a smart way to go with the Koreans, man. They got tough heads. I wouldn't want to just keep punching them because they usually just don't get knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. We saw that with Volkanovski too, and Korean Zombie. So there's a few of them that are like that. So yeah, exactly. They're very tough. That's for sure.
That's it, man. So tell me about like what's your sort of focus in training? Like what do you prefer? You prefer the grappling, or you're getting a love for overall? You're liking the hands and legs, and what do you think?
No, I like all of it. I enjoy all of it. That's for sure. Wrestling's definitely my favorite martial art, though. Yeah. But I do I enjoy boxing a lot. But the whole mixing it all together is just the way to do it, and hopefully I'll get better at it slowly.
Yeah, man.
But I think that's the hard part.
In the wrestling side, bro, do you train pure wrestling, or is it training wrestling for MMA?
No, I train pure wrestling pretty much. That's it. I don't really do much cage wrestling. I have been lately, but not before. Like all my other fights, I hadn't done no cage wrestling. It was all just mat wrestling. So
And what about
But
competition in that, bro? Like I've seen your clips of you doing BJJ comps and grappling comps, but didn't notice any wrestling. Do you do wrestling comps too?
yeah. So I did the nationals a few months ago. I did Oceanas. I think that was 3 weeks ago or something. So I've been competing a bit in wrestling, and yeah, I've won the nationals a few times. I came second in the nationals this year and second in the Oceanas. So yeah, it's been good.
Nice,
I
man.
enjoy it. Yeah.
So in that perspective, I mean, do you think you'd be up there with some of the international guys, you know, because obviously Australia's a little bit lacking in wrestling, but there are a few pockets of people that train pretty hard, right, in wrestling?
Yeah, but no one's anywhere near internationally. If you come from Australia, you're nowhere near. Like, it's the like Russia and that and America and stuff, they're just so much better. Like, but I think in MMA all that drops down. Like, if I can start using my jiu-jitsu against these wrestlers, it'll screw them, kind of thing. You know, like
Yeah.
it kind of changes in MMA, and we saw that with Volkanovski as well, and Makachev. So
I
yeah.
remember them saying that Volk had some regional wins in wrestling, or he was ranked number 1 or something in wrestling or whatever, and they were laughing about it.
Yeah, that was so funny. But they're right. But when it gets mixed in MMA, like Volk had the advantage for sure. Like
Yeah.
that goes another round, Volk wins for sure. So.
Man, what do you think about, like, I've seen a few of the guys, and maybe yourself included, you guys kind of, when you're wrestling, you kind of focus more on the wrestling when you're in there, not so much on the striking when you're wrestling. Like, is that something that you can improve, or is that just part of your game that you're focused on that wrestling? And if you start striking during the grapple, that you might lose position or this sort of thing? I know, you know, like example could be if he was always very focused on striking during the grapple, but Makachev, he's more focused on the grapple when he's in the grapple. You know what I mean? There's like a bit of a difference.
Yeah, I do. I honestly think it just comes from experience. Like the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. I think Khabib had a lot of fights. Like what was he, like 23-0 or something when he made the UFC or something, or like 17, or he had a lot of fights before he actually made it. And I think that's like, just the more you do it and stuff, the more you realize, oh, I can hit him here, I know he's not going to get out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it just comes with experience and doing it a lot. I think that's the difference, to be honest.
Yeah, man. And in your fight with Rod, do you expect it to be a kind of a grappling face-off, or do you think like sometimes we see grappler versus grappler, it ends up a striking fight? Like Rod's drawn himself into a few striking fights. What do you see happening?
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. We'll just see what happens when we get in there. But I think either way it'll be a fun fight. I think it'll be a good fight. But I don't know what's going to happen. I can't. Who knows? He might shoot on me. I might shoot on him. I have no idea. We'll just see what happens when we get in there.
So you don't have any real prediction. You're just taking it as it comes. Is that right?
Yeah, I do that with most fights, to be honest. I kind of went in with a bit of a game plan with the Korean, but most people, I just walk in and just try and do what I do. That's it.
Man. What are your thoughts on Justin Van Heerden, man? He's the champ in your division, right?
Yeah, I'd love to get him next, to be honest. Take it one fight at a time, but if I can get through Rod, it'd be mad to get him next.
You guys, in some way, have similarity in styles in that grinding sort of style in the wrestling side, anyway, right? You both grind people out a bit and take people's heart away a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen him fight much, but yeah, I've heard he's a bit of a grappler, so yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be good. I'd love to get that fight soon.
That's it, man. So any other? So how's Sydney, bro, at the moment? The sort of scene, just people around. Is it a pretty rough place, or it's all right where you're at?
Nah, it's not rough at all. This is the nicest place in the world to live. Yeah. Nothing around here.
So there's nothing really making you use your martial arts outside at all, just in the gym, right?
No, I've never been in a fight. Never on the street.
Yeah.
Never fought anyone in my life other than in the gym. So
yeah.
I think it's nice. A good way to be.
You're a nice guy, right? Some people do it to channel their aggressive energy. Some people are nice guys and like the competition, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's yeah, I don't think it's good doing it on the street though. That's for sure.
For
Fight
sure.
people who want to fight.
And man, being a nice guy, what drew you into doing something that's kind of like practicing killing people every day and punching people in the head and all these things? What makes you do it?
I don't know if I'm that nice though. That's the thing. I have no
You said
idea.
you
But
were.
yeah, yeah, that might be. I don't know, psychopath. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd never believe anyone if they said they were nice. But no, it just kind of came. I started with jiu-jitsu and then I just started slowly getting more into MMA. I preferred like a top game in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu and more imposing and stuff. And then I started wrestling and I was like, I'm all right at this. Like, and
Yeah.
my game suited MMA more than it did jiu-jitsu, that's for sure. Especially
Yeah.
the way they scored some things in jiu-jitsu. Like I lost a lot of matches on refs' decisions, just bullying people
Yeah.
that for some reason they'd always win. And I was like, oh, it's strange. Like I was on
Yeah.
top the whole time, like imposing my game, and then they won, and I'm like, oh, that makes no sense. But anyway,
Yeah. It's
that's
sometimes
jiu-jitsu.
questionable with the point systems, right? Like the relativity to a real sort of fight, it doesn't always work that way. But they got to have some
Yeah,
sort of
for
scoring,
sure.
right?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not bitter about that. Like I don't really care, but it's just I just find it strange. I feel like if they got back to the purity of jiu-jitsu and like the guy on top it has more power kind of thing, I think it would be a good idea because it'd make him a lot more competitive in MMA as well. We don't see
What,
many good MMA jiu-jitsu guys.
yeah, and what are your thoughts on submission only, man? Because that's kind of a bit more realistic, right? I'm not looking at weird points for stalling and stuff.
Yeah, I do like that, but it's kind of hard if two guys are matched pretty evenly, and if one guy isn't and he's stalling, like you need kind of a breakup of rules. I honestly think we've been talking about this at Sydney West too with Luke and stuff, and the ADCC rules are the way to go. Like
Yeah.
that's probably the best way. Like a no points period, so people can do what they want, and then
Yeah.
you start scoring after, and yeah.
Yeah. What about sub
You
only,
need a
no
good
time
point
limit, bro?
system.
What about no time limit sub only? That'll sort me
Yeah,
out.
I've done one of them. They're the worst things ever. Yeah, I'm not that big a fan of that. But yeah, that's the purest way to do it though, for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe if I was the same weight as the other guy, it would have been better. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty rough when I was giving away like 10 to 15 kilos. So
Better if
I
it's
think
like a clash of
it was
styles,
like
right?
we had like a 75-minute match, and I was giving up 10 to
Jesus.
15 kilos. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, but
That's
anyway,
crazy.
it's
That's crazy,
yeah.
man. So you obviously you mentioned that you're interested in fighting Justin if everything goes well. Are you kind of just haphazardly going along with it, like that you like to see where it goes, or are you actually focused on trying to get into an international contract or whatnot?
A bit of both. I'd love to make it to the UFC and that, like that'd be mad. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like whatever. I'm happy to just fight and see where it takes me. I think it's good experiences too, good things to do, and yeah, it's just competition really. Like you said before,
Yeah.
it's good.
What about other international like groups like ONE FC, etc.? Interested in them at all, or it's just UFC?
Yeah, no, I do want to see in that as well. Like it wouldn't really bother me where I went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to get good fights and stuff, really.
One thing I've mentioned before to people, like it surprised me a bit that sometimes people don't just look for fights as they're coming up around the world, because there's a lot of little competitions going on everywhere that people would be able to get into, but I guess you have to connect and that. But I'm surprised more people don't just seek out some of the fights in Asia and whatnot, a la like what's his name, Izzy and whatnot, that fought through the Asian scenes and stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to go, especially if they kept me there after. I love their food, so I'd definitely go and stay there for a few weeks later and eat. But yeah, I'd be heaps keen for that. But we've never been offered anything like that, so yeah. I just kind of
should seek
play
it
it
out a
by
bit. I
ear.
don't think the money would be necessarily good, but if they could cover getting over there, it'd just be an experience, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be mad. Just traveling, fighting, that'd be hectic.
Yeah, if I hear anything, bro, I'll let you know, because there are a few things going around. I'm in Asia. I'm in China.
Yeah,
So
good.
yeah,
Oh, you're in China? No way.
yeah, bro. Been at it a while.
The team's
Early
good
days, there
there?
was competitions here with Dan Hooker and Kai Kara France and a few other guys that were fighting out of this place. So yeah, Adrian Pang, a
Yeah.
few other guys. So that was in Macau, but there are other regions close by where yeah, they have competitions and that they're happy to have a Western face in there to fight one of the local lads or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to go. I reckon it'd be so much fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, there used to be a lot of Muay Thai over here as well in Hong Kong. Met a few of the big Muay Thai
Oh, yeah.
guys from Australia that used to have their guys fighting over here. Nugget and Mark Pease and these guys from up in Queensland used to bring their guys over to fight back in the day. It was like probably 15 years ago now, but yeah, a few of the Aussies used to get over here.
Yeah, that's mad. That's
Cool.
yeah, it's a good place to go, I guess.
That's
I
it, man.
thought, is it bad at the moment though? Were they a bit hectic on COVID and that, or?
It was terrible, bro. I'm in Macau. Macau's like a small 3 islands within joined onto China near Hong Kong, and I was trapped on these 3 islands for 3 years, man. Like you can drive top to bottom in maybe 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and I was trapped here in this small little place for a long time. So it's good that everything's freed up now, everything's loosened up, and it's all back to normal. It's like it never happened.
Yeah, well, that's like that here now too. Everyone just forgot. But
Yeah.
so you couldn't leave for 3 years.
Nah, because I'm on a work permit and whatnot. If I leave, I might not be able to get back to work again. Like I'm not a local, so I can't get back in when the COVID was all restricted everywhere. So yeah, I had to kind of stay here if I want to keep my job. Yeah. Bro, thanks for your time. It's good to meet you and good to have a chat about your training and looking forward in your career. I'll look forward to being there, but I'm coming over to watch Eternal 78, also UFC 293. So I'll be there in the crowd watching you, bro, cheering you on. So yeah, look forward to it.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Good to meet you.